Hello again, everyone. Age of June here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. I was going to cast the CLG Ranked 5's team game, but naturally, none of the actual replays that I found work. So that's not going to work. I guess it's because it was a week ago, and I think there's been a patch since then. So, unfortunately, it just says, no, we're not going to do that.
Don't worry.
That's a no-go. So, I was really hoping to go ahead and do so, but unfortunately it's not going to be the case in this one. Kind of sucks, but that's the way it is sometimes, you know. So I just went ahead, checked on Law King, and said, hey, give me a replay. Just looked at the top replays and found one. This particular one, you know, I decided to go into it for two reasons. One, it's got a Bard, which is kind of cool. Maybe we'll get to see him do well. I'm not going to focus on him like I did in the previous video. But also, it's got Alberto Rengifo, which I'm not sure, but I think that's Crumbs. His name is pretty close to that, so it may be that. Also, it's got Liquid Keith. I mean, overall, why wouldn't I want to cast this one? Mandatory Cloud. It's got a whole bunch of awesome people. Yeah. I do kind of want to see how a Bard is going to do versus a Blitzcrank, though. That should be interesting. Nice stun from the Bard. Yeah, they are invading here, and that right there did actually allow him to go ahead and let his ally know, hey, they're in your base. Oh, watch out, Tryndamere. Forced to spin to win out of that one. That would not have gone well for him at all. Yeah, other than that, fairly standard start-ish. I'm kind of surprised by the deep wards. You don't tend to see them in a solo queue games. Maybe they figured that these guys would try to lane swap, just given the fact that they don't like Blitzcrank, but honestly, that's really, really unlikely. I don't think I've seen... I've seen lane swaps maybe once in ranked games, or actually that wasn't even in a normal. That wasn't even in a ranked game. That was in a normal game. I don't think I've ever seen a lane swap in a ranked game. But you never know. Maybe up in Challenger it's slightly more common, but honestly I kind of doubt it. Lane swaps are not something you want to do with a whole bunch of people you don't know. They're pretty much designed, you know, for when you have team members that you actually know you can trust. With something like that, no way. I don't even think they would trust it. Ooh, Blitzcrank getting in position, getting a pull. It's gonna be pretty unpleasant there for Kalista, because Blitzcrank, of course, has that pull, and it's really hard to dodge that as Kalista early game because of her auto attacks there. But actually, Blitzcrank ended up coming out of that one a little bit behind, just because of the fact that, number one, he pulled Bard, so Kalista's able to still continue doing damage. And Kalista actually dealt damage to Graves. Graves didn't come in at all onto Keith, and overall just ended up doing quite a bit of damage, at least a little bit of damage there to the Blitzcrank, and absolutely none really to the red team. Up here in the top lane, the annoying Tryndamere versus Jax lane. What? Naturally, as soon as I leave. I'm guessing Blitzcrank decided to pull and completely missed his pull. Nice stun from the Bard, hitting both of them. Kalista able to go ahead and kite back. There's that speed shrine boost as well. Bard able to finish him off, and Graves actually finished the Kalista off though. So now Super Hot Maria here has to get the heck out before Graves kills him. That's going to be a double kill for Graves. Put down a speed boost for himself. Barely going to be able to get out of that. Had it not been for that heal, he actually would have died there. But die he did not. Graves is going to be able to go ahead and farm up there. Oh man, that was close. Gonna be able to get that farm that Kalista was not able to get, but overall, a definitely advantage for him. 100%. Bard did get the first blood, so he's gonna come back to lane with a little bit there, but really not nearly as much as he would like to get off of that. Unfortunately, with the death of Kalista there, ended up really not being it worth it. I mean, yeah, they got the first blood, but Kalista missed out on so much CS for that. Yeah, I really don't feel it was completely worth it. Got a gank headed mid, though. They're trying to go and cast. Cassiopeia does go down. Really not able to do too much before 6. She doesn't have any escape at all. Has no real CC to speak of until she gets that ulti. And then she could just go ahead and freeze you in place and walk away. But if this is indeed Crumb's smart enough to know you don't want to let that happen. And headed there to the mid lane before she got 6. Shut her down early. And let that Vladimir, who is amusingly mid, not something I normally see, let him go ahead and get the farm there. Tryndamere looking like he's got to head back. Jax actually doing pretty well. He did just teleport, or he did just head back and teleport himself out. So obviously he is going to have the item advantage on the Jax, on the Tryndamere for a little bit. Tryndamere does not have teleport though, so he's actually going to miss a decent amount of the CS as well. Alright, so let's take a look and arrange our players here. We've got Boxer Pete playing as the Tryndamere. The Jax is Twisty Juker. Alright. Gonna be Mandatory Cloud. Used to be Vulcan. I believe he's now in Coast. Nice dodge there by Shady. Gets hit up though by the pop-up from the Sedge. Ends up going down. But it was actually a pretty good attempt by him. That slow is a little too much though. Super Hot Maria is down here. We've got Zen Shady playing the Vladimir. The ADCs, we've got Chaisu, Kaisu, something like that, playing the Graves versus Liquid Keith playing as Callista. Definitely a fan favorite at the moment. And one of my own as well. Even if he doesn't get to play quite as much as some people would hope, still gets to play a decent amount, and he actually is pretty good. He's very good. Alright, the supports, we've got Zen Fuka playing as Blitzcrank, amusingly enough, against his fellow Zen member, against Super Hot Maria, as mentioned before, playing as the Bard. Seemingly enjoying himself at least a little. The jungles here, we've got, a gank is what we've got. Another gank here in the mid lane. Is she going to get out? She does get out. Does what might be Crumb's get away? He does get away. So, gank coming in there. Did not get a kill. Didn't really get too much, but it does force the Cassiopeia off of lane. So, she is going to miss out on that farm. Going to miss out on actually quite a bit. All in all, that is definitely a benefit for them. And it's giving Vlad the time to go ahead and free farm up because he really needs it. Vlad has such a weak early game. He really needs all the pressure he can get, and really he has been getting that pressure. Another failed pull there by Blitzcrank. Flashes in for the pop-up, ends up going down to Callista. Graves finishes off the Callista, and Bard going to be forced to back off, I believe. Oh, the stun though! The stun, and he ends up getting the kill thanks to that Q hitting a minion. And landing the stun onto the Graves. Nicely done. Ended up being a 2-for-1 in this bot lane, and all of a sudden it switched back into their favor. Gonna go on a magical journey as well. Go collect some chimes, because why not, right? That is such a cool ability. Anyway, looks like we do have an engagement up here. He's running away. Out comes the rek'sai ult. Doesn't really matter. Tryndamere pops the ult and finishes off the Jax with it. One of the really annoying things about Tryndamere, if you all in him, you had better be able to kill him after his ult goes off and survive until then, because otherwise that happens. And you're gonna have a bad time. Alright, so Zen Virus is the Sejuani. Two Zen members here, one Zen member here. I'm not actually sure what Zen is. I'm guessing it's a challenger team. Almost definitely. And then, of course, Alberto Rangifo as the rek'sai. Again, no idea if it's actually Crumbs, but I think it might be. It's a possibility, you know? Okay, yeah, you've got to stop following the Callista. Of all the things for it to latch onto, it latches onto Callista, which is one of the most unpleasant things to follow when it puts you in lock screen. Holy cow. Alright. Looks like we might have a gank coming in here. Sejuani's setting up for the gank on Zen Shady, but hey-yo, that's a possible Crumbs. That's a, yeah. rek'sai. I don't know why the name just slipped my mind there, but that's a rek'sai, and that was an interrupted gank there from Sejuani. No gank for you. Forced to back off, and now Zen Shady here gonna get some CS, hopefully anyway, although he's using his Q there to harass. Out comes the ulti from Cassiopeia. He just goes into his troll pool, and that's a wasted ult there. Not sure what's going on here. They're fighting over this Tribush is what's happening here. Put down the magical journey to come over and jump them if need be. Didn't end up happening though. MIA ping saying, hey, we don't know where Bard is. Oh wait, yes we do because there's wards. So that's not gonna happen. For some reason, Jax is sitting around here. The blue buff forced the Sedge to smite it. So Cassiopeia will not be getting this. Will he be able to escape? I doubt it. No, he doesn't escape for it. I don't think that depriving Cassiopeia of the blue is worth a death, especially considering Cassiopeia got the assist for it. So Zen Shady probably not too happy at the moment, but I don't know. It's a risk. It's definitely a risk, and in this case was definitely not worth it. But he was certainly hoping it was worth it. We do have a dragon attempt down here by Alberto Rengifo. Gonna be able to secure that. And we have another fight down here in the bot lane. This bot lane is aggressive for both teams. I mean, it is Blitzcrank, so of course that one's going to be aggressive. But in he goes, gets hit by a slow, misses the pull yet again. But unfortunately, Keith gets on the wrong side there. Ends up going down thanks to that ulti. In comes the rek'sai. Nice ulti from the Bard, rooting that Graves in place. Now Graves trying to kite Alberto Rengifo back. Actually does manage to do it, and he's got to run. Graves gonna be able to secure the kill. Is he gonna get a double kill? He does get a double kill. That is 3 kills there that ended up going to this bot lane. First they got the Kalista, then they got the other 2. And that is great news for Graves, especially since he's now got double buff. Yeah, that's gonna make things really nasty for this bot lane. Really nasty. That right there has pretty much just finished this lane off for a bit. I cannot see even Liquid Keith being able to come back easily from this. He will, of course, come back. It's Keith, right? It's Keith. But in laning phase, it's probably not going to happen. But I could be wrong. Vladimir going in. Out comes the rek'sai. Gets hit up by the ult. And in comes Sejuani, forces the flash out of the Vlad. Does not end up landing. And now the rek'sai forced to back off. They do not finish off Mandatory Cloud. Mandatory Cloud gets out of that with barely a sliver of life. rek'sai, yes, manages to secure it. She does die at last. Bard on a magical journey of his own death. Not such a good idea. Gotta put down the magical journey? Yeah? No? Already used magical journey, maybe? He did. He already used it. Gonna try to escape this way. Some way. Just trying to get to the rek'sai, but honestly, rek'sai was too low to help there. And he ends up going down. And rek'sai just goes off to go farm the jungle. Like, no, I'm not helping that. In the meantime, we had another fight top lane. The Jack stun hit the Tryndamere. Tryndamere says, alright, let's go. And Flash comes out. There's the Tryndamere ulti. Oh, the Flash! Dude, just barely. That is so frustrating when that happens. You are so close. One more auto attack. But it's not enough. It's not enough. Tryndamere able to get out of that one with his life. We've actually got Keith down here pressuring this Graves because right now, Blitzcrank isn't here. And it is still Keith. It's Keith, man. So, I mean, honestly, from what I've seen, it looks like the Graves is actually playing a little less aggressive than I would expect from a Graves. Possibly just because of the fact that it is Keith. But the Blitzcrank not been playing at all passive. He's been going super aggressive. Nice pull, lands on the Keith, gets the flash out, but in comes the rek'sai. And he is going for this, gonna land the pop-up on somebody. He does get popped up, actually. Oh, the ultimate there from Kalista gets them into range from the Graves. And that is a shutdown gold for Bard, amusingly enough, who honestly doesn't seem like does enough damage that he should be able to steal such things. But that is his 3rd kill of the game, amusingly enough. And yeah, that is a shutdown to Graves. Sejuani here to go in if she decides to. I don't know that it'll end up happening. And Keith is just shutting this up in the lane. Honestly, that is in large part what they needed, but it would have been better had they also had that kill go to Keith. And that was a slightly missed ult there from Bard and ended up hitting nobody. Nobody got Zanya'd against their will. Tried to save Keith, but these guys did not continue going that direction. Ended up just sacrificing the ult for absolutely nothing. In the mid lane, Vladimir still right around 30 CS down, but I mean, he's not losing CS as much, comparatively speaking, as he was before, but we do have a gank coming in here on him. Gonna be able to pop under, I believe. Does he have pool? He does have pool. They didn't even try to make him do it, though. They are pressuring this tower. In comes Bard. Cassiopeia not able to finish off the tower. Out comes the Vlad ulti. They're going in on ManCloud. ManCloud getting really low. The pop is going to kill him. He does kill him. Pull comes out from Blitzcrank. Shady getting super low. And he is going to end up going down. But he goes down to Blitzcrank. That's exactly who you want. Another fight up here. Yeah, you do not want to fight the Tryndamere when he's got his ult up, man. Every time, it just ends up taking him down. But in comes the rek'sai, gonna try to finish it off, smites him, goes in for the kill, and that is shut down gold to the rek'sai. Alright, so not bad there. This bottom tower did go down a little while ago. So that is at least somewhat giving Keith a somewhat free farm area. Oh, in goes the Bard, going for the Graves, landed the hit, and down goes the Graves again. That is a big turnaround again. I mean, with the roaming Blitzcrank, it's good and all. But you've got to be more cautious as Graves. Because that's the second time now he's been caught out by these guys. And the first one, I think Blitzcrank was also not there, or was just about there. Oh, the pull lands! Magical Journey, and Bard goes down. No Magical Journey for you. Actually just placed it so you can come down to join Kalista, but it was not to be. Not to be at all. Come get your blue. Come get your blue. There we go. She came to get her blue. And there. Blue buff it is. Jack's hanging around here. Gonna go ahead and grab that, grab the river crab, or at least try to, but the Cassiopeia coming in to try to do her best to do it too. Out comes the poison. Who gets the river crab? The answer is, at least so far, nobody. Oh, and it goes to the Jax. Nice. Nice little bit of back and forth there. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Jax gets it. Alright, so Tryndamere does have his ult up again. So if this Jax decides to fight him, I think he probably won't. But if he decides to, Tryndamere wins again. Goes in on him and does a little bit of damage to him. But Tryndamere is able to heal it up with his rage there. We do have another gank. Oh, nice stun there by the Bard. Rooting them in place. In comes the rek'sai. Graves goes down again. And now Kalista trying to finish off the Blitzcrank. That ulti from Kalista. Able to shove Bard up there, pop him up, and yeah, that is a dead Blitzcrank as well. This is now firmly back in their lead. Tryndamere, though, roamed as well to come in here for a gank onto Shady. Ended up being able to finish it off. The dragon attempt from the red team, they've got to watch out. Sejuani's here. She lands a stun. They're going to have a really rough time because Tryndamere is here too. Keith is shoving down bottom to try to go for that tower. Should be able to secure it, actually. These guys are going for the little river crab. And it's going to come down to a smite battle between these two. Who's going to get it, though? The answer is Bard. What? And okay, so we've got two junglers here, and who gets it? The supports. Alright, nice little ulti there from Sejuani. I don't know that I really agree with that decision. A very good stun from Bard, and she just wasted her ult for nothing. Maybe she just was really mad that he just stole that dragon from her. And in the meantime, apparently we had another engagement up top. Cassiopeia out here and gets jumped on by Jax, gets stunned up, and immediately taking a lot of damage. Yeah, Tryndamere can take the Jax. Cassiopeia? No, not gonna happen. And because of the fact that the Tryndamere was down there, he was not here to prevent her. This tower went down, she went down, and now Jax is gonna get the heck out, and that is his first kill of the game. And that's gonna help him immensely. The faster you can get to Triforce as Jax, the better. And he is gonna head back. He's at, let's see, 1,700 gold, so he's gonna get a little bit there. Yeah, gonna get that Phage. Not quite ready for the Triforce. That'll be not quite enough for the Triforce, but he got a little bit. And Bard is just continuing to do the roamy thing. Gonna get picked up by a ward here, though. So he's got to watch out because the blue team does know he's here, but he's using that magical journey just to the best of his ability, just to make his roaming all that much faster. And he is really fast. Holy cow. Graves able to finish off the Vladimir here in the mid lane. Probably got pulled by Blitzcrank would be my guess. There goes Blitzcrank. Gotta land the pull. Yeah, gotta land the pull. Followed by the pop-up. And the silence. The pull comes out, but that's an ulti from Graves. Yep, followed by immediately after by Buckshot. And down goes the Vladimir again. Red team on their way. rek'sai gotta watch out. Does not want to get hit by this. I don't think that the Sejuani has it. Oh, but rek'sai actually goes hardcore for a mandatory cloud. Ends up going down for it as well. Now Bard has to get the heck out. Super Hot Maria trying to escape this. Nice stun onto the Sejuani. But unfortunately, there's still two more members. Goes ahead, picks up that Chime. Oh, and goes through the magical journey. Followed by a stun onto Blitzcrank. Yeah, you don't kill me. And he's trying to lead them to Keith. But that's a 2 versus 3 if he does. Can ulti one person. He can ulti like Graves. And out comes the Callista. Nice pop up there. And the ulti on all 3 of them, actually. Followed by the stun. Does not end up landing, but the slow does. They've got to get out of this magical journey there. Actually gets these 3 into position. And all of a sudden, Keith is way out of position. And he's been out of position. He ends up going down as well. And we've got a split pushing Jax continuing to shove up here. Going for that tower. And Trindamir's not here yet, so this is going to do some decent damage to this tower. Trindamir will be able to force him off before he takes it down, I believe. And may actually kill him for it. But I don't think he's going to try. He is not. Vladimir, in the meantime, though, is actually shoving down here because he's uncontested as well. That's 2 lanes that this blue team left completely uncontested. And they really got only 2 kills out of it. They lost a decent amount of tower damage, a lot of tower damage mid, and actually quite a bit down in the top lane, and Jax is on his way back again. Yet again, the Tryndamere roamed to go try to kill, and got nothing out of it. Forced the lane back. Jax plants a ward there, though. That is going to be picked up with this ward, so they know somebody's around here. Gonna try to get the little toad guy. Does end up going down. And the question is, what is he going to do now? He sees the Tryndamere there, does not want to go for the fight. That would be kind of crazy. Gonna go ahead and back off here. Is he going to see him, though? Tryndamere sees him. Oh, yeah. Sorry, dude. No interrupted back for you. Had he spawned instead of taunted there, he actually probably would have gotten him. But decided to use the Tryndamere taunt, and that just kind of delayed his time there. Just by a little bit. Hey, come get your blue again. Alright, so Jax is on his way back up to defend this tower. I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, going to teleport. Going to use teleport for that short little distance. Does not want Tryndamere to get this tower. Tryndamere roaming again because this red team shoving down hard down the mid lane. He's going to be able to get here pretty soon, but these guys are already disengaging. We had another fight down to the bot lane. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll come back here to the mid lane as well. rek'sai decided to go in on the Graves, apparently. And, yeah. What? Apparently Graves decided to go back in on rek'sai, which is not in your best interest. There we go. There's this fight in the mid lane. Stun comes out. Blitzcrank taking tons of damage, but in comes the Sejuani. Misses her ult, though. Out comes that Bard ult. Does end up rooting up the Cassiopeia. Yeah, Vlad is dead. But everybody else is still alive, and they're going to be able to back off of this pretty quickly here. Oh, nice. The crab comes directly to them again. So yeah, they got another kill here in the mid lane, but again, they're losing pressure on 2 other lanes. And they're not getting any pressure on the tower here yet. Although, admittedly, this red team bot lane is on their way up. So if they can get there in time, they'll be able to keep these guys off. But still, they just lost their top tower. They lost a lot of damage on their bot tower and got fairly limited damage down there. They did again manage to finish off the rek'sai. So, I mean, that's good. But they lost the tower for it. They're losing so many objectives. And they're not really getting much for it. They're getting kills, but that's not really that great. He does end up going down, and in this case, they are not losing anything, but Bard is going to be able to trade that out. Right? Yeah. Finishes her off there. Goes down, though, and that ends up being a 2-for-1 for the Cassiopeia. Not bad at all. I think he actually... And another kill. I think he actually stepped on the poison there, which ended up finishing him off. Now Tryndamere's kicking in the split push, trying to come up here, and most of the red team is dead here, so he should be able to take down this tower pretty fast. Vladimir answered with a tower kill in the middle, but oh man, in comes the rek'sai. That Tryndamere ult is down, so if rek'sai actually managed to go for that, if he manages to catch this Trynd might die. He's got a little bit left. Yeah, it's not going to catch the Trynd, though. Not going to catch the... Well, he's still trying. No, backs off. Okay, so, yeah, again, did get the tower. Did not get the tower. rek'sai ultimate shoved him back. They got a kill again. That's about it. Actually, I don't even think they got the kill this time, but they got a few kills earlier. And again, no objectives. So, gold-wise, they're actually really close here. These guys have 2 dragons, so that's going to tilt the scales in their favor even more. They've got the stats. I'd say, overall, they're probably still a little ahead of the blue team. Blue team's had a lot of kills. They've been able to kill a lot of people. 10 more people. But they really haven't been able to do anything with it, honestly. Another dragon here. It's gonna come down to a smite steal, but they've got Callista. Ended up being able to steal it anyway. Now Keith gonna force to back off, and rek'sai not gonna be able to finish that off. Bard is here, gonna ulti them and get ulted by the Callista to get the heck out of there. He's gonna be fine, unless he gets pulled. What are you doing, man? Oh, he's stunning. That's what he's doing. Lands the stun. Jack's just split pushing again, but the Tryndamere's on his way to answer it, so not really gonna do too much this time. Will the blue team finally be able to go ahead and use the kill that they got, though, to actually get something? Or are they just going to leave it alone again? It looks like they're going to leave it alone. Yet again. And they got a dragon this time. They did get a dragon, that I think that's their first objective in a long time. So, I mean, they got something this time. They got more than just a kill. But still, it's definitely not working out quite as well as they would hope. We've got rek'sai coming down here to shove this bot lane again. They've got the Jack shoving top, going in on Tryndamere, actually. Tryndamere ult is up, so Jax needs to watch out. Wants to go for this, lands the stun. Better watch out, dude. Yeah, he decides to tower dive, and he flashes away. No, he's gone. I don't know why he decided to do that. It's Tryndamere. It's Tryndamere, man. Why would you go for that? I don't know if he thought he'd be able to finish off the Tryndamere while he was stunned or something, but it didn't work. It did not work. We've got another fight here in the mid lane. Cassiopeia and Blitzcrank going for the Vladimir and the Callista. They do manage to get both of them though, and that's a pretty bad sign for the red team. Blue team now pinging Baron from the looks of it, and so is the red team saying, hey, they're gonna try Baron. Tryndamere finally got that top tower. I'm kind of surprised he didn't get it long ago, but they're going for this Baron. I don't see the red team able to go ahead and fight this off. It's not going to happen. Blue team gets the Baron, and the question is, does the red team answer with anything? Deaths don't count. Oh, nice ulti there. Barely missed hitting himself. Why is he so slow? He's going to die. rek'sai manages to get an answer kill there onto the Graves. Gonna be forced to back off before he could take down the tower because Cassiopeia is on the... Just kidding. He's gonna take down the tower and then probably die. No? Not gonna die? Not gonna die. He'll be able to get out. Does he have his ulti? He does have his ulti. I mean, the reason I'm asking is that the Tryndamere is on his way out, but honestly, there's not really that much that rek'sai can ult to. Goes into that tunnel, gonna try to get out. Another tunnel comes out, as well as the flash. And Tryndamere might be able to get in range pretty soon to land the slow, but Vlad is here as well. Out comes the slow from rek'sai, and they're not gonna it's not gonna happen. Now we do have a fight between Keith and Virus. It looks like Virus coming out of that a little behind, forced to back off. And now though, the blue team is pressuring this inner turret here in the bot lane. And Jax is just taking a blue buff at the moment, so not really getting an answer tower. Red team, or blue team has finally gone ahead and started getting those objectives. Blue team, or red team, holy cow, why do I keep messing those up? Red team trying to answer with a tower kill of their own, but they just ended up giving up another kill there. Keith goes down yet again. Down goes the rek'sai as well to Cassiopeia, and Vlad probably not going to be able to do anything here. A nice Zonya's there by the cast. Vlad's going to try to out-sustain her, but honestly, Cassiopeia has so much damage. And down goes the Vlad as well. Yeah, things are not looking good at all for the red team. Blue team has finally got it together, and they're going for the objectives. And now they've got the kills going and the objectives going. Nice stun there from Bard, though. And that means that, yeah, things aren't looking good for them at all. Gonna be able to take down this mid inner tower as well. Wait, really? Really? Did you really just do that? She really just did that. Bard hanging around there. Pretty low on health, admittedly, but not that low on health. Bard landed the Q there, the stun from the Q, and she ended up going down because, yeah, you don't want a turret dive. Not when you, especially not when you're a Cassiopeia of all things. Cassiopeia does not have any tankiness whatsoever. You get stunned up like she did, you're gonna die. But they do manage to answer with a tower and an inhibitor as well. So, I mean, it's still okay overall, but honestly that was a serious misplay there by the Cassiopeia. Oh, Bard gets pulled while in the magical journey. Ends up surviving thanks to Callista. I was like, how did he get out of that, Callista? Surrender vote failed. 2-3. That was a really close call there, but a very nice reaction time by Keith. Barely keeping that Bard alive. Definitely a misplay by Bard. I can understand it, though. Oh, another pull comes out on the Vladimir, but Keith going in, doing a little bit of damage himself. In comes the Jax as well. Powers up the stun, jumps away, not going to stun anybody. And they're just going to back off here. One thing about it, though, I mean, Jax is a massive late game carry. If he ever actually ends up into the team fight with him, he's going to do a lot of damage really fast. So far, we've only really seen him split push. So we haven't seen a real team fight between these guys. And they've got the damage amplification of Vlad. And of course, they've got the massive damage of rek'sai and Jax and Callista. If they ever actually fully team fight, they might actually do pretty well as long as they don't get caught by the massive AoE of these guys. There's 3 members on this blue team that have really killer AoE if you end up getting hit by it. You get stunned from the Cassiopeia or slowed if you're facing away. A lot of damage from Graves, and of course the massive stun from Sejuani. So they've just got to avoid that, and they'll end up being okay. So far though, they've really seemed content just to split push. Honestly, these guys have just split pushed the whole game. For a long time of it, they had the 3-1-1 split push, and it actually worked for them. Because the blue team seemed kind of derailed by the tactics, and they ended up just messing it up. We do have Tryndamere going in, though. Lands the slow onto Jax. Gonna try to go for the kill as well. Jax says, fine, we'll go for this. Gonna force the Tryndamere to pop the ulti. Out comes that ulti. Jax jumps away. Nice flash. He's gonna be able to finish off the Tryndamere if he gets back in range. No, the slow means Jax will not be able to finish this off, but he did force him back. We do have an engagement down here. Graves managed to go ahead and finish off that tower. He's gonna be forced to fall back. rek'sai is on his way back over, though, as soon as he saw that, and they're gonna be able to get the inhibitor, though. Gonna be able to get the inhib, but Jax is continuing shoving down there. Vladimir, what are you doing out there, man? What are you doing? Coming to help rek'sai, but rek'sai in a pretty rough position as well. Down he goes to Blitzcrank. Keith is doing a lot of damage there to Graves, forces the heal, and now he's actually doing a decent amount to the Sejuani. But the Jax actually ended up focusing the tower down there, as we can see, instead of trying to fight off the Tryndamere or anything. Ended up going down. That's another kill there. Keith got a kill onto the Blitzcrank, but he's still fighting a running battle, trying to stay away from these guys. Now he's going back in a little bit. I like how he's doing this, though, using that Bloodthirst to just go ahead and keep his life totals up a bit here. And he's doing pretty well at it. Oh, the slow from the Cassiopeia, though, and the final kill there for her. That's gonna be GG, I believe. I don't think the Bard alone is gonna be able to hold this long enough, even for these guys to spawn. Another Nexus tower going down here. Bard goes down. rek'sai coming out. There's the stun, or the slow, but melts pretty much instantly to these guys. That is gonna be GG. Jax finally coming in for another fight. Goes for the Tryndamere, who goes ahead, ults himself. And Tryndamere goes down. Graves still trying to get that. They do manage to get the Graves. Is Sejuani going to be able to finish this off? It is so close. Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They kill the enemy team. And they turn on the Nexus right after. I didn't notice the Cassiopeia there, or I would not have been quite that excited. Alright, so that is going to be the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.